Hey man, it's Kevin Smith.
Hey, this is Jay Music.
Hey, I'm Scott Snyder.
I'm Cena Grace.
And you're listening
to the Absolute Geek.
The Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek Podcast.
Check it out, Snoogans.
Night in Phoenix. You're listening to the Absolute Geek Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to my mic is... There we go. Welcome, everyone, to the Absolute Geek Podcast. My name is Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Max.
Welcome, everyone. How's it going,
What's
guys?
up, brother?
How's it going?
Another wonderful week.
It is.
Oh, telling Kyle, I'm exhausted today, man. It's been a rough week. So,
it really has.
Yeah.
It's one of those trying weeks where you're just like,
yeah. I lost a really good friend this last week. Our good friend Ryan Charlie, goes by Don Rizze, who was a cameraman on the Bogcast and a really good friend of me and Keith's for a long time, got hit head-on collision by a kid out, doing the whole Fast and Furious thing. Completely sober, 18-year-old kid, just going 100 miles an hour, on one of those racing streets, and this poor guy was on his way home and just wrong place, wrong time.
That was over here in Litchfield Park, right?
Yep. Yeah, Litchfield, in between Bethany and Camelback? Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So, man, it's sad. And it really goes to, say you just don't know when it's your time, it's your time. And this poor guy, he was in a car accident like 10 days before this, got hit by another person head on. He's, survived that one, and totaled his vehicle. And 10 days later, he's driving his brother's, he had to borrow his brother's car. So he's driving home from work and hit again, man. So
like I was telling you the other day when we were talking about it, is 100 miles an hour in a car, man. I get it. Like when you start getting to like 85, 90, I personally start getting a little nervous.
Yeah.
And that 100 mark that's fast. Like,
yeah.
To be going in something that's heavy and aluminum and it's hot and with parts in it. I don't know.
A really interesting thing though happened, and this is kind of one of the reasons I brought it up so early in this podcast is something really interesting happened. And when it happened, I got a call early in the morning from Keith, and he's telling me, and it was just shitty. And he next 15 minutes after he tells me about it, I get a text from him, and it's a news article, and it's got a picture of the kid's mugshot and explains what happened. And the kid was 18 years old, and they did drug checks on him. He was completely sober. He admitted to going over 100 miles an hour. He had 3 other kids in the car. They all survived. But, when Keith and Oompa saw that, they were really pissed, and they were like, we're going to find this kid, and, we're going to, find him on Facebook and da-da-da. And I'm like, we're just kind of talking about like that guy is going through enough, man. You don't have to do anything to that kid. Like that kid's life is, it's not over, but that kid's going to go through enough guilt that you don't have to do anything else. And they were like, you know what, you're right. And that's like one of the things about being an adult, those situations. And it's kind of weird how they happen like that. So big shout out to, Ryan's family and his brother and his friends, and there's going to be a service this weekend and out in Litchfield Park, and they had a GoFundMe page for him, and it got completely fulfilled and then some. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, I hear that road though, Matt, you living out in that area, you'll probably know. I hear that road is just notorious for kids just racing up and down it, drag racing up and down it.
Yeah, straight shots.
So,
yeah. I mean, people even do it down Dysart all the time. It's people are crazy, man.
Yeah, it's when you're that age, even like how many stupid things do we do? We feel invincible that age. Not only do we feel invincible, we feel like we're not going to cause any harm to anybody else. So,
well, the sad fact of the matter is that kid's life is probably over because they're probably going to charge him with vehicular manslaughter. So he's going to do quite a stint in jail, probably.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
And that's awful.
Yeah. So,
sorry to hear that.
Yeah, just, make sure you guys, realize, I mean, we all realize how mortal we are in situations like this, but, kind of take a second just to think about the people you care about and how fast it can change. So, and on that note, let's get into some more happy conversation.
Anybody have anything else interesting?
Well, I just want to say that I feel like a curse, and I don't know if I should come on your show again, because the last time I was on, Brian had a fear of like cancer in his butt. And now this time his friend died. So next time you might have lost a limb. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. Oh man, you gotta love it, man.
Perfect
timing.
As far as my week, it was busy, but I work in the financial industry, so I had Monday off. It's always nice to have a 4-day week, so it was decent for me.
Those seem like the longest.
So sometimes for me it can get longer, but that's just because my boss is kind of cool, and he's like, "Look, if we have a 3-day weekend like that, and you want to do 10-hour days the other 4 days, you don't have to use any of your like holiday time that the company gives you." So they are longer because I end up working 10 hours a day, but then I don't have to use any time and I can use it for something else later. But I still like it.
I try to look at it as a 3-day weekend instead of a 4-day work week.
Absolutely. I love 3-day weekends, man. I spent all day Monday just watching Lock and Key with my wife. It was freaking great.
What did you think of that?
I loved it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I thought overall, like, I was unsure, and I was not like the first episode was kind of slow, but once they got to the end, the last like 2 episodes, and everything started kind of coming together and wrapping up. Overall, it became a really good show.
Yeah, I agree. The first episode was kind of slow. I was sitting there watching it with my wife, and I'm thinking, this isn't very exciting. I don't know if. And then at the end of the episode, things start to happen, and it got a lot better, and it was very interesting. I had a good time with it. It was a good time.
I mean, I thought there were some cool concepts in it, like the concept of like, when she took her fear and she took it out and buried it.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Like,
although there were a lot of things that were predictable in the show, though. I kept turning to my wife.
For real, though.
If you could take your fear and just
like, if you could go into your mind and be able to take something out, like how cool would that be? Like that one thing that actually truly hinders you.
Yeah. Well, I liked when he added stuff. I was thinking, man, how could I use that? Like he like grabbed books and threw them inside, and like he just all of a sudden knew all these random facts. I'm like, that would be useful.
Just take your boxes of comics and you just chuck them into your brain.
There you go. Absolutely.
I thought the ending was kind of predictable with who they threw in the door. Like I kind of saw that coming. But see, I had the opposite effect. I thought that the first half of this show was good, and like the last 2 episodes were where it got stale for me. But
the last 2 episodes, they made a lot of stupid decisions. A lot. I kept turning to my wife like, why did they do that? What the heck? Why did they do that? They just, oh my gosh, it's just dumb decision after dumb decision. I still enjoyed it though.
I like how she comes back and uses her fear later on to help them out when they're being held at gunpoint by the dude who killed their dad.
That was cool.
It's a good idea though.
It is. Solid
Yeah,
idea.
I saw that comment too. I was like, I know she's gonna.
I agree.
Like,
I did too.
It was a very predictable show, and I didn't dislike that about it. It was just like one of those times where I'm like, this is gonna happen, and then it did. And I'm not usually that guy. I'm not usually the guy that's turning to the person next to me in the movie saying, I bet such and such is gonna happen. I bet the Scooby-Doo villain's going to take their mask off at the end or whatever. I'm not usually that guy, but in this show, every time I just kind of knew what was going to happen.
You mean you're not that guy that's like, huh? This guy over here, this is going to happen. And all right, high five when you call it. That is not Max,
me.
huh?
I'm the guy that goes to the movies by myself all the time because I got tired of people like Lance constantly talking to me through the whole thing. Like, shut up! I'm watching a movie.
Lance is a talker, huh?
A lot of my friends are. One of my other good friends, we had him on the show. Ben came on the show for Star Wars talk, and he's the same way when we go to movies together. Not as bad as Lance, but he'll turn to me and like even just little things like I just don't want to be talked to. He'll just turn to me and say, "That was really cool, wasn't it?" Yes, it was. Now, watch the movie.
The screen is that way.
Like when Lance and I went and saw John Wick 3, there's a bunch of badass scenes in that movie. But I'm like, you don't need to tell me it was badass. I saw it. We can talk about it after.
I'm bad about that. I'm always like, watch. It's like, yeah, I am watching, asshole.
In my home, I don't care. If like I'm watching a movie in the comfort of my home with my wife or even with friends, whatever. It's when I'm in the theater. I think part of it is that I don't want to disturb other people around me. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. You're watching another show that you wanted to talk about, aren't you, Cal?
What's that? Oh, Avenue 5?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, really, that's if you guys aren't watching it or you haven't watched it yet, it's a very good show. It's worth taking a chance on. Have you gotten to see it yet, Max?
No, what is it? I've never heard of it.
So the premise of the show is it's like a cruise ship, but it's in space, and so it's taking you. Yeah. And what happens is kind of how most shows, something has to happen for everything to get kicked into gear. There was like a malfunction on the ship, and when it malfunctioned, other stuff happens that's actually funny, but it sends it off course by like 11 degrees. And when they did the math, they found out it's going to take 3 years longer to get back than it was supposed to.
Oh, wow.
So now it's all these people that are just stuck on this huge, like ocean liner type of ship. And it's like, like the captain's not really a captain, but he's just kind of playing the part because he looks good. And they hired like everybody that looks like they're helping fly the ship and stuff is like, they're just actors. There's like 5 or 6 people that are underneath the deck that are actually like flying the ship. And it's just all these weird little things that are always going on. Like the guy who's the real captain of the ship ended up dying.
And the captain of the ship is the guy that played House.
Yes.
The real captain or the one pretending to be captain?
Pretending.
Okay. Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie. And I like the kid too from Silicon Valley. The kid that's like the guy that goes around and gives free things and stuff or whatever.
And he's a funny guy on the show because he's not good at his job. Like he doesn't know what to say. He's like a concierge.
Yeah,
he doesn't know how to like calm people and soothe people. Like he says the opposite wrong thing that you're supposed to be saying. And then like when the real captain that was actually like he was one of the engineers died, they put him in this coffin and this is spoiler alerts. I'm not going to spoil too much, but I just found this part absolutely just hilarious. So they put him in a coffin and they shot him out into space, goodbye, farewell. But the ship is so big that it actually has its own gravitational pull, so the coffin got stuck orbiting the ship.
Oh, wow.
So, and then so as you're sitting there, it's kind of cool because you're sitting there and there's something going on, and in the window you'll just see this coffin come by.
Do they play that joke throughout the whole series, or is it just like in one episode?
No, it's in a few episodes.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I love running gags.
I personally do too, because it makes me connect, and it's funny, and it's something that happens during the show.
Well, it's like a reward for watching the show. It's like It's like an inside joke that you'll only get if you watched other episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. It's so much fun. I mean, I don't really watch Family Guy anymore, but it's like the chicken. Chicken will just show up all the time, and it's just this running gag throughout the show of Peter fighting the big chicken.
I think that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's Hugh Laurie is English. So in the beginning of the show, he's talking like an American, and then all of a sudden, when everything kind of goes awry, his English accent comes out. Everybody's like, "You're English?" He's like, "People trust Americans more." That's why he put on it's just those little things that are funny. And then he's got he's going through the rest of the show, and he's got to remember who he's always speaking English to, and then who he's speaking Queen's English to.
Nice.
So sometimes he'll start talking to somebody. He's like, "Oh, I mean, you hear me like this," and he goes back to his English voice, and it's just little things like that continuously go through. And then some of them, they don't even really do the joke, but the joke happens. You know what I mean? Like when he's bouncing back and forth, it's going on, and they don't have to say it, but they're doing it, and it's still funny. I think it's a creative show.
I got into something kind of crazy this weekend. Jack Black has a YouTube channel. Have you guys seen this at all?
His gaming channel?
Yeah, Jablonski Gaming.
Yeah.
It is some of the funniest, you can tell Jack Black never turns it off. I don't know how anybody can hang around that guy, because he is Jack Black 100% of the time, just going, but he is so funny in small doses. And he has this YouTube show where he's going on tour, and he just shows him, doing his day-to-day life. And dude, he is freaking funny, man. Really freaking funny.
Has he actually ever played a video game on there yet?
Oh yeah, he plays. He'll play stuff. He played one the other day I saw where he played one where you're chopping food and you have to feed it to a demon.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
So he's playing weird stuff.
Yeah, weird shit, man. Okay. So
is he playing computer games, or is it console?
It was console. Yeah, It was console. It's Cook Time or something like that, or it's a party game where you have to work with your partner to make plates of food. And
I've heard of this.
Yeah,
it's very popular. I cannot
very
think of
popular.
Yeah.
Call it Cook Time, or I don't know. But anyways, the channel is so funny, and he's always calling out Ninja, and he's like, "I'm coming for you, man." And at first I thought it was all an inside joke that he never even plays a game, but it's pretty cool, man. He goes to his house, and in one of the rooms he's into trains. Him and his kids are into model trains, and he's got a model train track that's hanging from the ceiling. It's pretty dope, and him and his kids just watch it, play with this train. And anyways, it's a really cool show. It's fucking funny.
So what is the joke with Ninja?
He keeps on saying that he's gonna this is what he's doing is training to beat Ninja in the game, and so it's a running gag.
It's a funny gag because Ninja's not even that good. So it's Ninja's entertaining.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That dude got his start on the MLG Halo circuit back in the day.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, my friend who's also the podcast co-host used to play, in the same tournaments, and he's like, dude, that guy was just a major douchebag back in the day. And I'm like, yes, looks like he's still kind of a douchebag.
What? Jack Black or the Ninja guy?
Ninja.
Oh, so Ninja is another YouTube person?
Yeah, he's a gamer.
He's like a streamer.
He's
he's the
biggest streamer
biggest
in the world. Yeah,
he makes millions every year. Like he's actually a pretty smart guy in what he's doing, because my understanding is he's trying to basically do this for another like 5 or so years, and then he's just going to retire with his wife. Like he's just like, I'm going to go hard at this video game streaming thing, make millions of dollars, and then for the next 40 years of my life, I'm going to live off of my millions and millions of dollars. I'm like, power to you, man. I can't even.
Fortnite.
Hey, man.
Hey, whatever does it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But he puts in days, man. It's crazy.
But
props to streamers.
Speaking of Ninja, though, something came out about him. I'm going to talk to you guys about and see how you guys felt about it. He's kind of in a controversy right now, a little bit of hot water for saying that the phrase "it's just a game" and saying "it's just a game" is a weak mindset. He said the phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. You are okay with what happens, losing it, imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. So do you guys think that that's the case, that just saying it's just a game instead of getting upset and raging out after you lose is
I think it depends on your intent. Like if your intent is to have fun, then yeah, it's just a game. At least that's my personality.
Yeah, that's how I am too.
Like don't get me wrong, I rage quit sometimes. I'm a gamer, it's my favorite hobby. And when I play Halo and I get my butt
rage quitting is your favorite hobby?
No, gaming. But like when I'm playing Halo and I lose 3-4 matches in a row, I get pissed because that's not fun anymore. Getting killed over and over again isn't fun to me. But I think Ninja's a little off base there. It's okay to say it's just a game because it is for the most part. For him, it's not.
To you, it's just a game. Like if you play a game and you lose, oh well, it's just a game.
Yeah.
That's the mentality if you really don't care about it. But if you want to be, I could kind of see his point, because if you want to take it somewhere and you want to be something, then you can't have that mindset.
I agree. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it depends on your mindset. If you're someone that wants to like be a competitive gamer, even if you don't want to make money at it, if your goal is to be competitive and be at the top of the leaderboards, then yeah, you probably shouldn't be saying it's just a game. Like if you really want to be the best, yeah, you got to. Rage quitting isn't good still, but you need to be competitive. You need to take it seriously. I don't know.
You can't have the oh well mindset. You got to have the in it to win it mindset.
Yeah, the kill. In for the kill.
Yes.
Gaming is my hobby, and so for me, it's like, oh well, that's fine for me. But like, I'm very serious about my career. I don't do that at work. If I mess something up, it's not oh well, it's crap. What did I do wrong? How can I fix it so that I can progress in my career? You know, like, but that's that mentality. Gaming is what I do for fun, so it's just a totally different mentality for me.
I mean, yeah, I know both sides of that. Raging when you're trying to win at something and not, or you get killed by something stupid, or you know, that's part of gaming. But I like Kyle said, I could kind of see it both ways. But there's times where I'm just like, why get angry? Like it's not going to change anything.
Now let's put this into perspective, though. You guys are football fans, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know Matt is. Sports fans,
hockey fans.
Yeah. All right. So your favorite team is playing. You want them to win. They get their butts kicked. You're probably getting pissed off. So the same thing could be said. It's just a game. Because it is. It is just a game. So like I get why people get pissed off because they're invested. Because I do too, but it's just kind of funny. It's a similar mentality.
And I used to think about it like that too, but there's one movie that's kind of changed my thought process on it, and it's kind of funny. It's Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. So he's a huge Boston Red Sox fan, if anybody's seen the movie. So he's a huge diehard Boston Red Sox fan, lives and dies by the Red Sox. And there's a scene where they're in a bar eating, and the Red Sox just lost. And like a bunch of Red Sox players come in and they're eating and yucking it up and having a good time. And like he's pissed that they lost, and the Red Sox players don't care. And it's kind of like they're just like it's a game. It's a job to us. It's a game. We get another game tomorrow. You know, there's that mindset that to them it's a job. So it's just a game. They're not necessarily as passionate about it as you are as a fan. Because to them, they're just collecting a paycheck.
See, and that's what's funny. To me, it should be the other way around. The guy who's getting paid should be taking it serious.
But to them, it's just like when you have a bad day at work. You're like, all right, well, I'll just do better tomorrow, you know? You kind of just brush it off and go about your business.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting and wanted to get your guys' opinions on it. So, but what's
Screw Ninja. That's my opinion. Screw that guy.
Yeah. What's popping
I never
off?
heard of him until today.
You've never heard of Ninja?
Mm-mm.
Kyle, you're so old, dude. You're so old.
But I don't play video games at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like not even a little bit.
I don't watch streaming, but I still know who Ninja is.
Like
I'm too old to like streaming, I feel like.
Like if I walked over into my son's room, I said, "Who's Ninja?" He'd probably explain it from beginning to end. You know, he probably knows every little thing about him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I
He
never
would.
heard of him.
Probably. Is he a Fortnite player?
Yeah,
Then he knows. Then he knows who Ninja is.
he said he says the game is trash, but he plays. Never mind. We've talked about this before.
Did you guys get? How many of you guys got Batman '89?
I did.
I got it.
I got it. Yeah.
Did you get it, Max?
No, and I didn't.
What'd you guys think?
I think I don't know. It's overhyped. It's
Yeah,
overhyped. It's overhyped.
Nothing.
And it like I was going to talk about that too. I was just about to ask you about the top hot 10, but like, do you think at some point the speculation market will be the downfall of the comic industry?
No,
because of things like this. Like they jacked there was so much hype behind that book, and they jacked it so far up in the price in advance to where they already went to second printings, and then it's like a cameo appearance. It's not even Punchline's a first appearance.
But that happens. We get one of these every year. One of these happens every year where everybody freaks out about it, and it's, it's a book that is super hot for a week or two, and then it turns into a $1 book, a cover price book, in a week. I think that comic fans look for things like this. They need books like this to happen, And you talked about the Hot 10. Of course, that book is this week's #1 Hot 10, and it's actually on the list twice. As a matter of fact, the normal version and the Air version is in a different spot. But I mean, the fervor for that character in that book is just, it makes me it reminds me how ridiculous speculation in comics can get.
Yeah, because you don't even know, like, we don't know anything about her. We don't know how long she's going to be around. It's not like Harley Quinn. We don't know how important of a she's going to play,
The same thing happened last year. It was called Catwoman and Batman's Wedding.
Yes.
It happens every year, man.
Well, we're going to get 2 then this year because it's called Catwoman's Pregnancy.
And there's a really cool art germ cover coming out that shows that is a Punchline full cover of her. That's really badass looking.
That's
it's I think a variant for number 2 or 5. I can't remember. But for those of you guys that do play the spec game, that's probably something to look into and maybe try and get a copy of that variant, because that will sell.
I thought that was the variant for Batman 94 for the next issue of Batman that comes out.
Okay, maybe. Are you talking about the art germ one where it's just a full body image of her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just keep an eye on that one. But here, I'll run through this real quick. This is this week's list. Of course, he always, puts the honorable mention list. He has got a Golden Age, and this is one of the greatest all-time covers of any comic book, not just Golden Age. Chamber of Chills. This has Chamber of Chills 19. This has kind of like, inspired so many amazing, homages and other covers and album covers, but this week a 0.5, not a 1.5 or 2.5, a 0.5 sold for almost $2,000.
Dang.
A 1.8 sold for $3,000. That's higher than what a 3.0 sold for last summer. So again, every week, just another reminder that Golden Age stuff is just.
What issue is this?
Chamber of Chills 19.
So for you people listening back on the replay on Monday, check that cover out. It's a pretty cool cover. Definitely. I don't know, something old school. There you go. Yeah.
I like it. It's cool.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous covers of all time. It's just awesome. I think there's a band that used it too on an album cover, and I'm going crazy trying to think of it. I can't remember. But anyways, next honorable mention is Salem's Daughter, The Haunting #1. And he says not only was a $50 sale this week for this excellent art germ, so it's another badass art germ cover. That is a really nice cover right there. But the fact that there are no other copies listed for sale at the moment, so it's a super rare book that is an art germ cover. So that's honorable mention.
I tell you, that cover has really nice font.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the list. So this is a cool one. This is Cobra Kai. The Karate Kid saga continues. The 1 in 10 8-bit variant. That's just a cool cover. It's a little, Nintendo style 8-bit gaming, cover where it says "Sweep the leg" on the bottom, and it's Johnny, trying to kick him in the nuts, I guess. But it's a pretty cool cover. So it says selling for close to 2 times ratio at $17. Very few of these available. So if you guys see this, especially for cover price, pick it up and put it for sale and make some money off of it. Number 9, this is an interesting one. This is an ash can Bang #1. And it says both covers are doing about $10 each, but I'm always leery of option news the week that a book is released, especially from small publishers. The list of these failed options is much longer than the list. So this is more option news, and we talk about this all the time with speculation that you get something optioned and it shoots a book up for $10-$20, and then it sits in option hell.
All of a sudden, it's the book that everybody needs to get their kid.
Yeah. This is kind of interesting. Number 8, Bitter Root. Number 6, Chris Brunner 1 in 10 variant. It's kind of like a Do the Right Thing homage. I like that cover, and it's selling for about $2. Yeah, it's about 2 times ratio, about $20, and just very hard book to find right now. So this is probably going to end up being on the list next week, I'd imagine.
When did that book come out?
I think it just came out recently. So this is of course, the Batman Air version. So for those of you guys that don't know, there's a printing error in number 89. And basically Ben says, I've put this low because information and rarity are still unknown. There was a $700 sale, but there are also 7 current listings on eBay. Also, there are different variations of the printing error, as some show pictures where the full pages are black and others where they're only partially black. So if that $700 sale is for real, that is crazy.
Yeah, it is. It was a real sale.
That's nuts. Number 6, I like this one. This is a National Comics Rose and Thorn #1. DC Comics, they're bringing back Rose and Thorn. So basically, he says, so throughout this week, this one moved up to about $25, but has settled back to the $15 to $20 range, which still isn't bad for a book that was dollar bin fodder a week ago. But there's been rumors of, I think, what was it? One of the networks optioned a Rose and Thorn TV show. So for those of you Adam Hughes collectors, that is going to be, if this show ends up happening and it's any good, there are some really underrated Adam Hughes covers from the Rose and Thorn DC series a couple years back. Really beautiful covers that I'm sure will be worth a pretty penny if this continues to get rumors about being optioned. Number 5, Borderlands Origins #1 GameStop variant. And Ben says this literally went from barely sellable book at $5 to a $50 book. He says you can all make your own decisions, but 1, video game adaptation, 2, Eli Roth, 3, etc. So you can tell Ben is just like, it is what it is. It's the reason for its selling is stupid, but it's selling. And some of these video game variants are really tough to find, especially in good condition. So, how many people found that? Adam, the Legend of Blue Marvel. This is crazy. This is just absolutely nuts. It passed the $200 mark as a raw book. So if you can find this book, this used to be a dollar bin book, like 5 years ago, and then it kind of got pretty hot, but now it's just meteoric. For $200, if you find this for a raw book, a 9.6 just sold for $30.50, and there's no news of why they're selling. They're just hard to find, and people like this. So, number 3, Hulk #1, first appearance of Red Hulk. This is all a cover. I think we remember this was a book that was spec'd on for a while. News that the Red Hulk will appear in Disney's new She-Hulk series. So this is a $25 to $50 book raw. So I will be searching my collection to see if I have any. And number 2, awesome book here, Maximum Carnage variant, video game variant, Maximum Carnage #1. This is a tough book to find in good condition. This is the one that came with the special video game package that Acclaim did. And
I want that. That is so cool.
Yeah, this is a hard
Love
book.
that game.
But it's just a beautiful cover too.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has been creeping up this year, where it started as a $175 range for average grade copies. Very fine copies are now exceeding $350. He says, make no mistake, this is a very difficult book to find, and to find in high grade. Only 4 9.8s and 8 9.6s on the census. So again, super hard to find in decent condition. And of course, #1 is Batman '89. So $30 plus for the A cover, and the B cover is getting about the same. So pretty crazy.
The Air one is the cover A, right?
He says, I don't know. I have no idea. He doesn't say.
That's what I thought I heard was it was the cover A.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I like the B covers better.
I'm a fan of Tony Daniel, so I like that.
I just love the Matina cover.
Yeah, Matina's a badass too, but man, he fall from his high perch with that whole copying thing.
Yeah.
So that's the hot 10 this week. I mean, we all kind of knew, I think, that Batman '89 was going to be crazy.
Yeah, and then the other book that's huge that comes out next week is, I think, Hellblazer #3. That's supposed to be her first official appearance or full appearance of Punchline. That's why everyone's trying to warn people off of overpaying for Batman '94 and not to get hyped up for Batman '94 because of what just happened with '93.
Yeah,
everyone got all hyped up about it, and it's literally like a cameo of her nose down. It's not even.
Yeah. It's stupid. Absolutely ridiculous.
But people are popping on '94 because '94 is supposedly supposed to be her first cover appearance. I'm surprised to see that Star Wars isn't doing anything in that Luke Skywalker
Vader one.
Well, the first yellow lightsaber
appearance
in comics isn't.
I don't mean to interrupt, but what's the hype with Batman '93?
Batman '93 was the Punchline was.
I thought that was '89.
It's '89.
I'm sorry, '89.
Oh, so I was confused. All right, continue. I just needed to be clear.
Yeah. So I mean, just more crazy spec, and no, I don't think, to answer your question, that the spec will kill off comics. It might make it happen. It might be an accelerant, but I think what's going to kill off comics is they're putting too much into movies and TV and not enough into the bread and butter, which is storytelling and good writers. And I think they'll kill themselves.
Yeah, oversaturation big time, especially with Marvel, and now they just announced another Spider-Man book coming out this year. So I mean,
Spider-Man 2099.
No, there's already 2099, and then there's another Spider-Man book about to be released later this year. So it's a little crazy, the oversaturation on this stuff, and I thought that's what DC was trying to do with Rebirth, was to nix that, but doesn't seem to be what's happening. But so the other big thing that came out today was we got our first full pictures of the new bat suit from the Robert Pattinson Batman movie. What did you guys see them, and what were your thoughts on it?
I saw 'em.
I liked it. I mean, I'm not going to worry too much about it until we see a little bit more. I mean, it was such a small sample size, so
It had a very 0-year feel to it. Very I was gonna say Zack Snyder, but very Scott Snyder-y.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the longest bat ears we've seen in live action. And I don't know if you guys noticed that, but they seemed quite a bit longer than what we've seen in the past.
Were they longer than Keaton's Batman?
You know what? Maybe they weren't longer than Keaton's. I might be misremembering his. The longest we've had in a while. They're not short and stubby. They're not like, 6-inch long bat ears, but they definitely looked a little bit longer than what we saw in the Batfleck stuff. And
they're
Christian
definitely
Bale
longer than
stuff.
Batflex. Yeah.
Yeah, and they seem longer than the Christian Bale stuff too. So I guess maybe what I mean is recent memory, because you're right. The Michael Keaton Batman might have had longer ears. But I think the suit looks cool. I mean, it's clearly, before all the editing they're going to do in post. They don't even have a cape on him because they seem to always do capes in CGI these days. And it was the stunt double. But I think for what we're looking at, it was cool. The arms were kind of weird. They had it looked like he had a whole thing of pens going around the outside of his wrist, which looked a little weird. But I think it looks cool. Without a cape, it looked like Arrow, though.
The bike looks very like Adam West era Batman, with the little bat on the front of the bike. And
yeah, it was a little silly looking, but I like it. I don't know.
Did you see the video of his stunt double wiping out?
No, I didn't.
So because it's raining and he's riding the motorcycle and he goes to stop and he wipes out at the end of the take.
Keep that footage. Put it in the movie.
Put it in.
I mean, you could. Whoever's chasing him could wipe Batman out.
I think it's an interesting take. I think it's an interesting suit. And when Kyle pointed out last week, Kyle and Ryan, about the chest piece being a gun, and I didn't even catch that. But the only thing that bothers me is that the cowl. I like how long the ears are, but it's the front of the cowl. Something about it just doesn't look right.
Seems kind of off. I agree.
Seems like a bubble head.
Yeah. I'll take another look at it.
Yeah, I was just thinking. I was like, I want to see another look. Here's one thing I did see in one of the images I saw. There was because it looks like the eyes are black, as if there was goggles over them.
Yeah.
But then I saw another image where there was a green eye, and so now I'm getting my hopes up that maybe they're going to do the white eyes via green screen type stuff.
Well, I think it almost looks like the eye, the eye is covered with black mesh, and I think the green you're talking about is it looks like one of the a grip or something is wiping underneath his eye, because it looks like it's a green cloth under there. But I that's why I have a feeling they're gonna CGI the white over his eyes onto that black.
I really hope so. I want to see
mesh.
white eyes, man. We need white eyes.
They're gonna be doing Long Halloween, it sounds too, for sure.
Yeah. That's what the speculation's been, but I'm excited.
I'm getting more excited. I was starting to get less interested in this movie, but now that we're seeing some more images, I'm interested now.
Yeah, it looks like they're definitely going white eye. And I think one of the problems is the nose looks kind of weird. You know?
I'm trying to find the pictures again.
I mean,
Here we are.
I think it's, I don't know. Part of me wants to say maybe I'm going to hold off until I get too crazy about being like, oh, this suit sucks, until I actually see Robert Pattinson in it on screen and not a stunt double, because then it's going to probably change how it fits him versus his stunt double.
Yeah, and the cowl does look weird. You're right. It looks, I don't know what it is. There's something just a little bit off about it. And then you notice that like around the neck, it's like he's got like a ton of armor around there. That's definitely different than what we've seen in the past. Kind of reminds me of Corbin's favorite. The forgetting the name of it.
Gaslight.
The suit
Gaslight,
is very like, I don't know. It is very Daredevil-ish to me. Like it reminds me a lot of the Daredevil outfit. Like people are complaining about. Here, let me.
I don't get that vibe now. I did previously when you had the red lighting on it.
Yeah, when it was red lighting, I could get that.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. Did you hear what? I guess there was an interview with Zoe Kravitz, and she was just like, everybody's gonna love it, you know.
There's the Batman. If you're watching the live stream, there's trying to like zoom it in anymore, but it's not letting me. But there's the image we're talking about right there, and he's got the black covered on his eyes, but I don't know what it is. Like it's just like the front of the cowl, the bubble.
The ears are too far back. They're not forward.
They almost look like antennas.
Yeah, they're back on the back of his head.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting because
There we
the
go.
chest I really like. The chest I like, but the cowl it's odd looking.
Yeah.
Rocket launchers on his arms.
That's what I'm wondering. It looks like he's got a freaking set of pens. There's like 6 pens on each of
That's
his
what
arms.
Chad said in the chat was he borrowed Black Widow's wrist rockets. But I like the kind of armored up look though, like the very like basic look of it, and then it almost looks like his like little blades on his like arm pieces are gonna come off too, like they haven't previously.
Yeah,
because it almost looks like those might be batterized, because they almost kind of look like they're sharpened at the end. That's why you've got the two-toned steel.
Check this out. Here you go. Did you see these? Here's some more pictures.
Stop sharing my screen and you can share yours.
There you go.
Oh wow, there's a bunch.
Oh yeah, those are way better.
Look at how far back they are, and they're kind of like they're really thin. You know what I mean? It's weird.
It is weird looking.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this in post, man, because I tell you, a lot of those Marvel movies, you'll see the characters in their costume, they look awful. And then the movie comes out, and you're like, oh, wow, that's pretty bad A looking. And I don't know, I think it looks kind of cool as is. So that's why I'm really excited to see it after, like, editing.
Yeah, you could tell it's really, they're trying to say, they're trying to show, like, maybe this guy could really wear that type of stuff, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Seems a little bit more.
Well, a lot of the rumors are that it's not going to be based on year one, but like what we're hearing is this is a Batman very early in his career.
So it would be like 0 year, where it was like his very like, basically the beginning of his career, and he's kind of just making a suit out of where it was just correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, it was just the gray suit, and he had purple gloves, and he had the cowl and cape, but it wasn't anything like special.
I think that's cool though. I like that they're going to go more about, because like in when Christian Bale was first becoming Batman, they kind of glimpsed on it being like a work in progress. But I think what we're going to get with this Batman is more of that instead of just a few clips.
And do you think this is the only bat suit, or do you think we'll get another one? I could see another one before this.
Oh yeah, dude, they're gonna capitalize on that. I mean, that's one of the biggest things, money makers. That's why Iron Man did it, because they make so much money off of those with toy sales and.
Well, I even mean for just this film, because like Iron Man, I think they only had, well, I guess they had 2 suits in the first film, but then like each film would have a new suit. But I mean, like, if this is going to be somewhat
10 suits.
Yeah, but I just mean like if this is like a 0-year-ish situation where it's the origins of Batman, maybe you have, a really rudimentary suit first that's maybe mostly cloth or something, and then you get this one later on in the film.
Kind of like how Daredevil was.
Yeah.
One party was one way, and then he upgraded.
Yeah, I was thinking even more like Spider-Man, where he does like
Homecoming.
Yeah, like Homecoming, or not that rudimentary, but like a similar idea where it's more homemade, probably a bit better than what a teenage boy would have made, but something like that. And then later on, you get a better suit like this one. I don't know. Maybe it won't happen, but I think it'd be cool.
You just run around in a bandana over his head with like a bed sheet as a cape to start, and then he gets this costume. I mean, goes up from there.
I guess they kind of did it in Batman Begins. He didn't really do a costume; he just wore like a ski mask, and then he got a suit later. But yeah.
All right, guys, I'll be back.
All right, man, take it easy. But I want to see. I mean, they've already signed for 3 pictures, so I wonder if we're gonna start out shitty and then it's gonna get progressively better as the movies go on.
Yeah,
to where it's more high tech by the 3rd one, because like you said, it definitely feels very much like it's a Batman and is like pretty much like I said, it's supposed to be Batman early on in his career. So
yeah, I'm getting more excited for this movie, and my hopes are getting higher. It's next year, right? 2021 is the projected release.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, so we're still probably a long way away from even getting a trailer. But
well, I'm surprised. When does Eternals come out? Is Eternals this year?
Yeah, November.
Like, I'm surprised we haven't seen a trailer for Eternals yet. Not even a teaser.
I wonder if we'll get it before Black Widow, or if they'll wait for Black Widow to release and then throw a trailer out there.
And like Bill and Ted Face the Music, we're seeing all this. I'm seeing all this stuff about that movie. They're showing images and stuff, but we haven't even seen a trailer for that, and that's in August.
Yeah, wow, that's true. Man, I forget that movie's coming out. That's exciting.
Too.
That'll be awesome. I haven't watched the original Bill and Ted movies in a long time. I really need to rewatch those. I definitely will, though. Anytime a sequel's coming out, I rewatch the other stuff. So I'll get a rewatch in this year. But those are classics. So good, man.
Yeah, you got to put on those old comfortable shoes again. Good when you rewatch them.
No, I'll be watching in my underwear. That's my jam.
As long as it's not in the nude where people can see you.
Oh, no one can see me. I watch a lot of shows downstairs here in my office because I've got my surround sound set up, and my wife sleeps upstairs. She goes to bed before me usually. And it gets cold down here, man. Colorado's a lot colder than Arizona, and so I'll put my Snuggie on and just watch. I have a Batman Snuggie. I like to use that one.
Is that the TV you take everyone to show them your 4K? Come check out 4K.
Everyone's begging to see it. I'm telling you guys.
Come check out 4K.
It is the TV I use to show off my 4K now, because it's my office is literally, you walk in my house, it's the first room.
You might be able to answer this for me, Max. 4K. I know everyone's kind of going crazy for it, but everything I've kind of seen in 4K, it always seems so shaky. Like the cameras are shaky. Like it pans. Have you ever noticed that in a lot of shows?
No, I haven't noticed that. I will say this about 4K. I like it a lot. I mean, I love it. But the difference between 480p and then 1080p, so from DVD to Blu-ray, that is a much bigger difference than the difference from Blu-ray to a 4K Blu-ray. Like, for me, it's noticeable, but way less noticeable. Like, I can't even watch a normal DVD anymore because it just looks like crap to me. I don't like to watch it. But I can still watch Blu-rays. I can still watch 1080p. I'm still happy with that. I haven't noticed what you're talking about, though, Kyle. Maybe it's because it's so much more crisp. You're noticing things. I
think that might be what, like when I was watching, I think like one of the Twilights, I was watching in 4K, and is like, and I don't like how for some reason with 4K I noticed like the camera pans a lot. Like there's a lot of panning.
I don't know. That seems weird to me. The camera wouldn't be any different based on the resolution.
Yeah,
I don't know.
There's something about it. I'm not sure, but there was a show I was watching, and it was the whole thing was just like they were holding it and breathing.
I haven't noticed that.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Next time I see it, I'll have to point it out. And I'll say, "Watch this show."
Yeah, you should. Yeah, next time you see it, let me know. I'd be curious to see if I can see the same thing. But if you ruin 4K for me, I will come down to Arizona and strangle you. Okay, don't ruin 4K for me.
Well, you just look forward to 8K. You just bump up, right?
Please don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. I just got ingrained into this a year ago. I've repurchased. I'm a snob when it comes to resolution. I've repurchased movies on Vudu in 4K when they're on sale. I'm like, ooh, I can get the Hunger Games for $5 a movie in 4K, even though I already own them in 1080p. Let me do it. I'm a sucker, but I love it.
That's interesting. I've never noticed that. I'll be on the lookout for that now.
For what?
The shake, yeah, the weird panning.
It drives me crazy for some. That's one of the reasons why I don't upgrade and I don't watch anything like that, because there's something about it that just I don't like. I think Darren in the chat said it might be the refresh rate.
Okay, that makes sense.
So maybe that's what I'm seeing. Maybe it's just the TV that I have or something. That drives me bonkers.
Maybe you've got a really high refresh rate. Do you know what your hertz are? Do you have 120 hertz or you don't know?
I'm not a TV guy. You know what I mean? Hey, that TV's got stuff that I want and it's affordable.
Yeah,
that's how I buy a TV.
You have a 4K TV though. It's not a 1080p TV.
Yeah, but I don't use it.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Both of my 4K TVs only do 60 hertz. So I don't know. If you have a nicer TV than me that does 120 hertz, that could be why. Because that is a good point. The refresh rate could totally be it.
I'm not sure, but I'll have to make it a point. I'll have to send you some kind of link coming up.
Do it. Do you know what brand your TV is?
No.
Okay. If it's a Vizio, that could be why. I hate Vizios.
He's gonna dive into it for you.
I love.
Let me Google the owner's manual real quick and let's dive into this. Let's see if we can troubleshoot your TV for you.
It's funny. I don't work in IT, but I have a degree in IT and I love TVs. So you take those two things together and you're talking to me about my stuff. So I'll stop now.
Did you watch the first episode of Clone Wars?
I did, but I thought you were done talking about Star Wars.
I am, but I'm gonna give you your shine.
All right, I watched it and I freaking loved it. It was awesome.
You're cool with them releasing a new episode every week instead of all at once?
I mean, that's what Disney Plus has been doing.
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know. It's weird because Hunters just came out on Amazon Prime and I can watch all of that. And I'm probably going to start watching that in the next few days because it looks like an interesting show. Netflix, they release their shows. You get to watch everything. And that's fun. I loved sitting down and just binging Lock and Key with my wife. But at the same time, I also really enjoy looking forward to a new episode of a show every single Friday.
Yeah, the anticipation is cool.
Yeah, it's fun. And the other thing I enjoy about it, and this is just my special circumstance, the place I work allows us to work from home one day a week. So I have chosen to just do every Friday. And so now with Disney Plus shows, my lunch break, I'm here in my office with my big TV and my surround sound, and I just log off of my computer, for work for an hour, and I watch the show. It's freaking awesome. I mean, for this, it's only a 30-minute show, but it's been fun. I started doing it during the Titans and Doom Patrol days. Mm-hmm. And now Disney Plus also releases their shows on Fridays. And so it's just kind of become this tradition that I work from home on most Fridays. And on my lunch break, I get to watch the show that I like in a much better format than from my phone. Because I used to watch it on my lunch break on my phone, which is fine. But this is more enjoyable.
Well, yeah, it's your comfort and it's your big, nice TV that you love.
Yeah, big nice TV. Got a couch in here. Nice sound. It's a good time. I love it.
I don't know. For some reason, I kept thinking that they were going to release all of Clone Wars at once. And then it kind of hit me off guard today when I was like, oh, it's only one episode. I was like, okay.
So this is why I think they're doing this. I talked about it on Couch Crunchers like a month ago. And it was funny because I predicted everything except for the Mandalorian's release month before they announced it all. I was like, all right, guys, they're going to be releasing Clone Wars. And my guess is February 21st. And this was like February, I don't know, early February, late January that I was saying this. And then a week later, they said February 21st for Clone Wars. And I'm like, it's going to be 12 episodes, which is going to lead us up until May 8th, which is exactly what's happening. And then I'm like, and let me tell you right now, we're going to get Falcon and Winter Soldier in August. They're only going to give us like a month and a half off. And then we're going to get those episodes. And then a month or two later in November, we're going to get WandaVision, which is exactly what we're getting. So I think Disney's strategy is they're trying to give you a lot of nerd content every week. Well, a little bit of nerd content.
What comes
every
out in
week.
May?
Nothing comes out in May. They're giving you like a month and a half off before they release something new, is what they've been doing. Mandalorian was only about a month and a half ago, and now we've got Clone Wars. When that ends, month and a half, you get Falcon and Winter Soldier. That ends about a month. You're going to get Mandalorian season 2. That's going to end. You're going to have WandaVision. That's what I'm noticing their strategy is. And as they get more shows, I don't think there's going to be a break as much anymore. But right now, while they have fewer shows, you're noticing a break.
I thought WandaVision was December, but you might be right.
I think they said November. Maybe they said.
Yeah, because Loki's going to be out. Loki comes out next year.
Yeah.
And I know they got that new Mighty Ducks show coming soon, too. So I can't remember where that's going to fall. I don't know where that's going to fall in at.
Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be this year. And then they've got Hawkeye that's supposed. I saw an article today that said it's supposed to be coming next year.
They shelved that, so I don't know if that's even going to come out anymore.
I don't know. I didn't read the article. I just saw a headline saying Hawkeye coming next year. I don't know if that's true or not.
They shelved that, and now there's been speculation that Haley Steinfeld's going to pull out of the project because she's going to take on other stuff because that's put on hiatus. So,
man, that'd be too bad. I want her in that. I think she's a good actress.
What's your opinion on the fact that Disney doesn't want Mandalorian fans calling Baby Yoda? They want you to refer to it as the child, and they're making putting a pretty big emphasis on that.
They can say whatever they want. Fans are going to do what they want. I don't really care. Like, it's fun to call it Baby Yoda. It's not Baby Yoda, but it's fun to call it that.
What'd you say, Kyle?
I was like, it's not. So why, it's not Baby Yoda.
No, I know.
Yeah,
it's
so
just,
that's why they have to stick to their guns, I would think, but I don't really know.
I have a feeling you're probably right.
Because any like official merchandise is going to be called the child, I'm sure, or the asset. Or did you say they're wanting it called the child?
Yeah, the child. Yeah,
which is fine. The child's cool, but Baby Yoda's cuter to say.
But if they called it Baby Yoda and then it never really had any ties, I think it would be an outrage. Like,
yeah, they can't officially call it that.
People would be mad about it later. Well, you said.
Yeah. But kind of sticking on Star Wars, let's talk about old Harrison Ford here real quick. What's your take on Harrison Ford? So he did an interview for his new movie called The Wild coming out. And the interviewer was talking to him, and he was like, you have one of the best lines in cinematic history when Carrie Fisher's Princess Leia says, I love you in Empire. She says, I love you. And you're just like, I know. He asked him, did you come up with that off the top of your head? Or was that improvised? Or was that in the script? And Harrison Ford starts going about it, and he says, Leia's about to be encased in kryptonite. And the guy kind of laughs it off, and he
said what?
He says that Leia was going to be encased in kryptonite. And they kind of laugh it off, and the interviewer says, you mean carbonite? And Harrison Ford says, kryptonite, carbonite, whatever. I just work here. and then he's asked about the Force Ghost and why he didn't show up as like a Force Ghost in Rise of Skywalker. And his response was he didn't even know what a Force Ghost was, and that he doesn't care.
Well, that's our job to care about that stuff.
Right.
That's not his job to care.
Don't you think so it just kind of goes to show that I think we as fans expect these actors, and it shows with Robert Pattinson and his Batman, we expect them to know these characters and these roles, but do you kind of find it off-putting that he doesn't know the difference between Kryptonite and Carbonite?
I wouldn't expect him to know nor care.
I find it disappointing when they don't know anything, but I'm not like upset.
But
I don't expect him to.
It's just a job.
Exactly.
Like Star Wars isn't his life. Like
it made his life, but yeah.
It did. It helped make his life a very comfortable one. But it's not his job to ever care. Like, it's like saying that he has to still use a whip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whenever he goes out to an adventure.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, I'm not anywhere near as old as Harrison Ford, but you look at Star Wars for him, and yeah, he had a small role in Rise of Skywalker, really more like a cameo, and then he was like kind of a side character in Force Awakens even. Like, he had a decent role, but he hasn't really been in Star Wars in a huge way since the late 80s.
Well, I thought it was funny. He even said that when he got the call from JJ to come back for his cameo in Rise of Skywalker, he thought he was being prank called. He didn't understand why JJ was calling him to come back.
Yeah.
So.
I just feel like it's the kind of thing where it's like, I did that job 30 years ago. I don't remember. Yeah. And I look back at like some of the first stuff I did to earn money doing pest control. I don't remember everything about that job. I don't care. I wish he cared because I'm such a huge fan of the franchise, but whatever. I do enjoy when there's the actors that actually are into it. Like Mark Hamill gets into stuff. He seems to really care about Luke. He cares about the Joker. Like, he's a lot more engaged with the audience, and I enjoy that, but they don't have to be.
I think that's different though. I wonder how much that has to do with the difference in big roles you've had and like blockbuster roles you've had. Because Harrison Ford's been in a lot of stuff, and Indiana Jones and Han Solo, but Mark Hamill's had he was the trickster in the old Flash TV show. He was a trickster in the current one, and then you have Joker, the voice of the Joker, and Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't mean to bring something up that we've already talked about, but it's the same thing as the Red Sox part of, it's when they lost, it was just a game. The same thing for Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point, Kyle. It's a good point. I just said it was funny. You would think that, I don't know, I would think that since it was this huge role that he would remember that kind of stuff, but like you said, who cares? He doesn't care, obviously. He's like, I just work here. So.
Well, like when I was a kid, my dad and my mom are not nerds at all. That's not their thing. But they'll watch the Star Wars movies, they watch the Marvel movies. So growing up, I saw Star Wars, but it wasn't like my dad was like in love with it and like teaching me to love it. Like, my brother now has a 4-year-old son. He's teaching his son to love Star Wars, and his son loves it. But me as a kid, I just watched the movies casually. It wasn't until I got older that I was a huge fan. Until probably I was 10 or 11 years old, I thought it was pronounced Dark Vader, not Darth Vader. So I guess like from that perspective, like Harrison Ford's probably the same idea. It's like, whatever, like I did it to make money. I memorized my lines at the time. I don't know.
I agree.
It's funny now looking back. I thought it was a lifesaver, not a lightsaber, and Dark Vader. Well, not lifesaver, lightsaber. No, that lifesaver. That's what I thought. Lifesaver, which doesn't make sense why I thought that. Lightsaber makes more sense. It's a saber of light, but it was Dark Vader and a lifesaver when I was a kid.
The joys of being a kid.
Right? Meanwhile, my 4-year-old nephew is like, you ask him who his favorite character is, and he says, Kylo Ren. It's his favorite Star Wars character. And then Darth Vader. And you say, what do you like to do? Kill all the Jedi. That's what's going to happen with my child.
That's
They're going to love Star Wars, okay?
No, I thought you're gonna execute the order and just have him like wipe out his nursery or something.
Heck yeah, man! This is where the fun begins.
Well, that his nursery is a Jedi, it's the younglings, and you're gonna wipe them all out, huh?
Yep.
My brother conference call.
My brother and I actually had a conversation about the killing of younglings earlier today, but I don't know if I'll dive into that. But we were talking about just like Anakin's growth to become Darth Vader and how in the movies it is so terrible. Like there's no reason that Anakin would go from being a good guy to all of a sudden killing children. But the Clone Wars TV show makes it a little more palpable, but it's still like so off-putting to me when I watch the movies. I'm like, what the heck is this guy going and killing kids for now all of a sudden? This is stupid. Just doesn't make any sense.
Not to jump back to a previous topic, but talking back again about Matt Reeves' Batman a little bit. What do you guys feel about the rumor going around that there's speculation that Dick Grayson, aka Robin, is going to be in this film?
I'm excited.
Are you? You don't think it's too early to introduce a Robin?
So
we've had enough Batman movies without it. Really, I mean, it's been a long time since we've had a Batman movie. I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be. Then it can spawn into us getting a Nightwing movie.
So I'm on board for Robin, but I kind of agree with you, Matt. I think the first movie's too soon. What I think, if Robin's in it, I think it's going to be more a matter of you hear about the Flying Graysons, maybe you see the Flying Graysons, but his parents aren't dead yet. Or maybe they die in an after-credit scene. Like, I could see maybe that. But I don't think Robin is going to be in the movie. I think Dick Grayson might be as a kid, but not Robin.
So yeah, they've already they're circulating a tweeter. What is it? A tweeter? A Twitter post about the Flying Graysons.
Yeah.
And they're doing a casting call. It looks like.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today. They're looking for like circus people or something like that.
Yeah, and then there's I'm gonna butcher his name. Timothy Chalamet. Thank you from the crowd. Chalamet is rumored to potentially be Dick Grayson. So
I have no idea who that is.
He's from looks like he's from the movie. What movie was he in? The King. Little Women, Call Me by Your Name. Kellen's just over here.
Wow.
What else?
So, like,
Beautiful Boy. I think.
Okay.
Just keep going, dude.
I know who that kid is. Oh, I hate him. Not really. I don't hate him. But you watch This Is Us.
Yes.
That's freaking Kate's young boyfriend, and I hate him.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure it is. Not. It is.
No, I think that's
dude. It totally. All right, I'm looking it up.
Look it up. I'm
pretty confident.
I don't think it is. But you think early on, for an older Robin, you think it's a good fit, Kyle?
Older Robin.
Well, yeah, he's gonna be like when Bruce takes in Dick. Dick's what? How old?
You're right. It's not
like
This Is Us kid.
Like 12. So this kid looks. I mean, so you get a Robin at this point, he's gonna be like 16, 17 years old. It's gonna be like the Batman and Robin with Chris O'Donnell as Robin, where the dude's already an adult being taken in.
I just was assuming that the Flying Graysons part would be like a flashback.
Yeah.
Just more of a reference than anything else.
It's tough because, like, if you want to get Nightwing, you can't cast too young of a character. Not that they've confirmed a Nightwing spinoff or anything, but like if that's a goal, you can't get too young. You can't get a 13-year-old kid.
Well, they've been talking about a Nightwing movie for years now, right?
Yeah, they have. But they talk about a lot of things.
It'd be cool to have a couple Batman movies that have Robin, and then we have that spinoff where we get to have Nightwing.
I think it could be cool. I don't know. I'm not sure I like this kid, but for just the look anyway.
When Bruce takes in Dick. Terrible phrasing.
That's funny.
But it'd be cool if like you don't see, like you see the flying Graysons thing happen in this movie, and at the end of it ends with like him suiting up as Robin for the first time, or that's like your mid credit is him suiting up as Robin as the first time. And I want the yellow.
At the end of the movie about a Robin. That's why I don't want something like
you
that.
Don't want, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot that it happens at the end of Dark Knight Rises.
So I'd rather it be something that comes into the movie early.
I want the red and green suit though. The yellow, red, and green suit.
I don't think you're gonna get that.
I don't either.
I mean, even if it's like Red Robins from the comic books, where like what you kind of saw in the Batfleck universe, but I would love to just have the.
I guess if
those
it's not
color
like
representation.
brights, like if you're looking at dark reds and like a dark yellow, like it might work. But I'd even want like the hood, like.
Oh, that's going Damian Wayne then.
Yeah, I know. I just like that.
I agree. I think that's an awesome Robin design. But
yeah, I also would have been. It's not going to happen, but I would rather see a Robin that isn't Dick Grayson, honestly. But if you're going with a young Bruce Wayne, you kind of need to go with Dick Grayson. I think I'd rather see like Tim Drake or something. We've never seen him in live action. I don't know.
I think if you're gonna get I don't know, maybe. What do you think, Kyle? If you're gonna get a different Robin than Dick Grayson, you think it's gonna be Damian?
I bet you we get Tim first.
You think we'll get Tim before Damian?
Mm-hmm. Because the reason I think that is because Tim's more techie.
Yeah,
and he's more of like a detective like Batman is. So and to make it fit into like more today wise, I think Tim would be a better fit. Just because they always have to move things kind of in a direction that kind of keeps it like kind of in today's standard, and being a techie guy would be fitting for the way they make movies.
I'd rather see Damian, but I freaking love Damian. Give me our freaking Ra's al Ghul's clone, basically.
It would be cool.
I just love him with his sword and wanting to murder everybody and his attitude. I love Damian.
Oh, Damian's next to Dick Grayson. He's probably it's hard to. They all got good qualities about all of them, but Damian is awesome.
Erica says, when I think of Batfleck as Batman, I think of Suicide Squad when he tells Deadshot justice. And his double chin was the star of the show. What if they go where you don't even? I don't know. I was thinking, what if they give you like a Dick without even being Robin first? He just goes right to Nightwing, and he trains him Batman trains him as a sidekick. But then, as you move forward, you get a young Tim Drake as his Robin, and this version of Dick just goes on to be Nightwing. So you see him later on as Nightwing.
So he like breezes in and breezes out.
Well, he trains him as a sidekick, but he's kind of just got that Nightwing moniker. I don't know. I was just trying to think of a way that they could do it to fit it with his age.
But isn't like Robin, like the identity of Robin, fairly instrumental in creating Nightwing?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
He's tired of being Robin, and he wants his own. He wants that breakaway.
Yeah, that's why I'd rather just skip straight past Dick Grayson and get a different Robin and just.
Yeah, but Dick Grayson is such a cool character.
Yeah, I'm saying, but if we had him as Nightwing instead, but
I think it just would be funner to have him. It would just be awesome to see as Robin, and then transform.
Yeah,
it would be reasons to have.
So you want to see a little bit more Robin than what we got in Titans before he transforms into Dick, or not Dick, but before he transforms into Dick, before he transforms into Nightwing.
Yeah, and I want to see more Robin as Batman and Robin, and then it would give it a really cool reason to have the Teen Titans on screen. and then it would be a really cool reason to have the Judas Contract, and then it would be a really cool reason to have Nightwing.
I mean, that would be cool.
And then having Nightwing be in Bloodhaven would be, then that's where the story of Nightwing takes place.
So what if this Batman is cool enough to spawn DC's, MCU? Then you could actually see that. You could see Robin. You could see over a 10-year period Robin growing throughout different films, and then he becomes Damian after 10 years of movies. Or not Damian, sorry. Then becomes Nightwing. Like, that could be cool, but are they going to do that? I don't know.
2 or 3 movies, and then it transitions to a Teen Titans, and then it transitions to a Nightwing movie.
I think that'd be really cool if it happened. I think that'd be awesome. Because, I mean, there's going to be 2 or 3 years between movies. So by the time you get to that point, that's probably going to be like 8 years. So whoever the actor is has plenty of time to grow and get older.
I mean, that's not a bad idea, Kyle's onto, because Robert Pattinson is young enough that even after these 3 movies, or, after this movie, you can kind of start setting those pieces in the next 2 movies of his contract. And then when his contract is up, you pivot to follow Dick as going on his own and forming the Teen Titans and becoming Nightwing, and like Kyle said, Judas Contract and all the stuff that goes on with.
And it's a reason Deathstroke.
That'd be really cool. But would you want to introduce Deathstroke in one of the Batman movies before Judas Contract, or would you just introduce him in Judas Contract?
Judas Contract.
Yeah. Just introduce him there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's probably good enough.
Like in a Batman, like an after credit scene, or something that teases it, but for the most part, no. And just let the Judas Contract play out.
That'd be cool. I like that story arc.
I think that'd be a fantastic way to do it. Now, will they do it that way? Probably not, but
oh, hell no.
Transitioning from Bruce to Dick, and then let Dick carry it going forward would be a good way to keep that franchise fresh without having to reboot it every time you're going to recast someone else.
Mm-hmm.
But
man, now I'm wanting I'm a big DC guy. I really want to see what the MCU has done, but in DC, because they clearly haven't done it yet. I just would be so happy to see a good cinematic DC universe. I would love to see that.
Well, it isn't starting with the Birds of Prey, I can tell you that.
You're right. Although I actually went and saw that again this week, and I liked it better than the first time I saw it. It's got issues, but I liked it. What was what?
What was the difference?
Well, I listened to my own podcast that Matt was on, but I wasn't on that week, and I listened to Matt, Lance, and Sam basically ripping this movie apart. And so when I went back, I was looking at all their criticisms, trying to see if I agreed with those, also with my own. And I actually didn't agree with some of them. So I actually was like, no, the choreography is not as bad as Lance is saying. The rollerblade scene that Lance was complaining about and how like it was so unrealistic. Yeah, it wasn't realistic, but I don't think it was so. It wasn't even Fast and Furious bad, like in my opinion. The movie's not perfect. I'd probably give it a 3 out of 5, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. One of the other complaints that you guys made on the show was that men make every decision for Harley in the movie. And I don't know if you made that argument, Matt, but someone made that argument. And I was watching for that, and I was like, that only happened one time. She got captured by Black Mask. He made her then go do a contract for her. And as soon as she got Cassandra Cain, she immediately started betraying him. So, and then she only went back to him because she wanted to save her own skin. So I don't really feel like people were making her decisions for her the whole time. She was doing what she needed to survive, and she's kind of a despicable person. So I don't know. I thought that stuff made sense.
No, I said the whole movie she was her actions or motivations were looking for acceptance from like the Joker and Black Mask, and she kind of always needed like that more like I don't know, steadfast character by her side where she wasn't taking up that leading role person. She was more of the damsel in distress, because I think that's the first thing she does. She breaks up with the Joker, and then the next thing she's in the bar and she's about to get sexually assaulted, and Black Canary stops it.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
So it's
I didn't like that. I agree. I thought that was kind of dumb. I'm like, you're kind of taking her character down a step by by doing that. You know, I didn't like that. But what was it? There was something. Oh, I totally agree, though. You guys talked about how the stupid prison scene with the beanbag gun. That scene is ludicrous. Why did no one stop her? Like, I was watching for it, and she reloaded pretty quickly. And for like the first 2 or 3 rooms, I was like, okay, I can suspend my disbelief here, and I'm okay with the fact that she's taken out these cops, because it was only like 1 or 2 in each room. But then she got into like the final room, and there's like 4 cops in there. When she shot the first one, how did the other 3 not immediately take her down?
Right.
Like that. Yeah, I just thought that was pretty stupid. That beanbag scene was kind of dumb. And I also thought it was weird that they decided to make the movie rated R, but then she like didn't really kill that many people. I was like, Harley Quinn's she's a freaking villainous, crazy woman. I think she would have been murdering a bunch of people. So I just thought that was odd that they had her shooting people with a beanbag gun instead of actually like killing them. I don't know.
I still think the movie's the plot of Deadpool 2 featuring starring Harley Quinn. It's like Deadpool 2. You just replaced Harley or Deadpool with Harley, and it's pretty much the same movie. It's set up the same way.
I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, well, I guess there's saving a young kid, so that's true. I was thinking the time travel piece, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, without the time travel piece, but
Cassandra Cain sucked.
Yeah.
Renee Montoya sucked. Huntress was all right. I actually didn't mind her weird personality. I liked that. And I actually, on my second viewing, I liked Black Canary. I think it could have been better. I think even, I hate to say it, but CW has done a better job with that. But the costumes were atrocious. I hate the costuming in this movie. But I like Black Canary. She was really the hero of the story. Harley Quinn was not the hero. Black Canary saves Harley. Black Canary is the one feeding information to Renee Montoya. Black Canary is basically a spy. She then is going to save Cassandra Cain after Harley Quinn betrays Cassandra and is trying to turn her into Black Mask. Like, the real hero was Black Canary the entire time.
Well, honestly, the whole movie, the real story of the movie is it's Huntress's story, because it features her family getting killed. They're looking for her family's money, and she's coming back to avenge their death. So, like, she's the only one that gets a full circle story arc in this movie.
That's true.
So,
that's true. I didn't love. Oh, and also, dude, oh my gosh, when they finally call them the Birds of Prey or whatever, and they show them in costume, awful.
Yep.
Oh, those costumes were like worse than CW bad. They were. Oh my gosh, I can't even. They were so bad.
But kind of speaking on this, on Birds of Prey in that universe, since Justice League is set in that. So they're saying, and it's being rumored that the Flash movie, which is supposed to be covering the Flashpoint storyline, is going to pit Wonder Woman versus Aquaman to try to wipe out the fact that Justice League ever happened. But it depends on if Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa agree to be a part of it. Do you think that's a smart decision or not?
I think it could work. Problem is, I don't really like Ezra Miller as Flash. I don't know. It could work, because you could basically wipe out a lot of the things that have happened and rebuild the DC Cinematic Universe. But at this point, I almost think I'd rather them do what we've been talking about and restart with this new Batman movie, assuming it's good. And just kind of build a universe around that. But I don't know.
I don't even think that. What about you, Kyle?
I'm not sure. I'm really not. As long as I like Ezra Miller's a Flash. I've talked about that before, so I'm not going to do it again. As long as they follow the Flashpoint story well, then I'm cool for whatever they can make it. But as long as it just needs to follow it.
I love the Flashpoint story. I'm down for Flashpoint
story. But we've talked about that a bunch of times, so we don't need to talk about Flashpoint again.
Well, how much do you think that pitting Wonder Woman versus Aquaman is going to change the Flashpoint storyline?
What do you think, Brian?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just heard about it. I haven't looked into it. I heard they're going to do the whole Wonder Woman versus Aquaman type thing. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what's rumored.
I think that's just what that is. I don't think that's going to turn into anything. I don't think that's going to bear fruit. But we'll see.
I think it'd be awesome if they did it. I think seeing Jason Momoa's Aquaman versus Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman would be really cool. I think it'd be really cool.
As long as they do it like this is the next Justice League movie, they gotta have them all in it. If it's a Justice League movie, I mean that's cool. I'm cool with that. Make sure they do it up. They should have done Flashpoint, last time.
As long as they bring Jeffrey Dean Morgan back as
Thomas Wayne.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Batman is in Flashpoint a decent amount, and Batfleck's gone. So would you somehow make some excuse for Robert Pattinson being the Batman in this? Or would you just replace Batman with a different character?
I think that you have Robert Pattinson make a couple cameos. Yeah. Why not?
He's Batman. Might as well use him as Batman.
Because isn't if I'm remembering correctly, isn't it Batman with the Flash and he's like helping the Flash get his powers back? And isn't that part of the story? Yeah.
It's Batman's dad.
It's Batman's dad. It's Thomas Wayne. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was misremembering. Okay. It's at the end that Batman's back.
It's changing the timeline.
Okay. Okay. So then Thomas Wayne's the one he's with. Okay. That would be cool, actually. Jeffrey Dean Morgan would be pretty sick.
That's why it was so interesting when they were doing the button in right around the beginning of Rebirth time when they were doing the button. You got to kind of see a little bit of that again when they were bringing flashback, and they're rejumbling and and kind of Xing out the New 52. So I thought it's cool.
It's a great story. It'd be great to build a movie around that framework. So,
because the director recently revealed that his take on the Flashpoint won't be a direct adaptation from the comic book storyline, but it'll be a very different version of Flashpoint than you're expecting.
I'm okay with different as long as it's good.
So I mean, maybe Flash goes back to a time where where Atlantis and the Amazonians are in war with each other. I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Does it?
I mean, I don't know if it's good, but it sounds like that's what they're trying to do.
Like Chad said, they changed Joker with no explanation, so changing Batman with nothing said is doable. That's true.
Plus, those Aquaman and Wonder Woman are the two characters they actually like. They want to keep those iterations as they have them. So,
well, is that just because their franchises are the only ones that have actually taken off?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, Shazam's going to be in there at some point too.
They're going to have Shazam take the role of Thomas Wayne. It's going to be totally different.
Wasn't Shazam in Flashpoint? No.
It's been so long since I've read Flashpoint, I don't remember.
For some reason, I'm picturing Billy Batson as the wizard, and he has the long white hair. But maybe that's not Flashpoint. Maybe that was a different storyline.
I don't know. I mean, sure, you could find a way to bring Shazam in, and I think it'd be cool. But then, what do you do with the Superman arc? Do you digitally make Henry Cavill look super skinny, or I don't know.
I think it's going to be cool. Them doing the Black Adam stuff. It sounds like the Black Adam stuff is actually going to be pretty badass, like we were all expecting. They're going to do the whole JSA storyline.
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully they do the whole ISIS storyline from New 52. That was a good storyline for Black Adam.
So, kind of switching. Let's switch over to Marvel real quick. So now Sony's coming to the table or to the plate, saying that they're hoping that they can extend the Spider-Man deal past the 3 pictures they have it at right now. What do you think's got them changing their tune?
Money.
Yeah.
Yeah, money. And I'm very glad. I'm guessing the deal that they renegotiated is much more lucrative for them, so they're probably willing to stay in this one longer.
Well, that's what they're saying is that it's the deal they have now is a win-win-win for everyone involved. But there's also those rumors of Apple was looking to buy Sony. So do you think that maybe that deal is falling through?
The Apple deal?
Yeah. So
Maybe.
Sony only did 3 years on that new deal because they probably expected to be bought out by Apple, and now maybe that deal is cooling off. So they're saying, well, maybe we can extend this deal out further. Because they seem to be putting a lot of money in this because they're trying to connect their universes. They're trying to connect Venom 2 to and Morbius to this universe.
I don't know. I'm trying to find my tinfoil so I can put my hat on, but
Yeah.
having a hard time.
I'm just saying that they've already pretty much. So a script for Morbius leaked already, and footage for the movie is leaked already. And they're saying that in the movie, that poster that we've all been looking at of the murder with that Spider-Man image from the Tobey Maguire one, that image is actually just a placeholder for the trailer. When you actually watch the movie, it's the Tom Holland Spider-Man on that poster or on that wall painting.
I think it'd be cool. I'm down if you want to cross it over and merge it.
Yeah, but so do you think? I mean, that's what I'm trying to get at is, you think Sony wants more? Because I mean, like you said, they're putting a lot of eggs into this connection to the MCU.
Well, yeah, of course they do. Big money. They're gonna do anything they can to be part of that.
I think if I was Marvel, Kevin Feige, and they wanted to do that, I would tell them to put a break. I'd be like, if that's what you want, it's fine, but you need to put a break on this extended Spider-Man universe you're trying to do. Because now, especially if they're talking about putting a Kraven the Hunter movie out before Kraven the Hunter is even in Spider-Man, like, I don't think you can have... I think Kraven is that one character that wouldn't make sense without Spider-Man. Right off the bat. Because he really doesn't have... I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but he really doesn't have his own adversaries other than to go after at that point without it being someone else in the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah, I struggle. I've said it before on Couch Crunchers. I don't really want a Sony universe. I want it all connected. I'd rather Marvel. If I could have a perfect world, I'd want the frickin' Apple deal to go through so that Marvel just gets Spider-Man back. I don't want to see all these Sony spin-offs. Even if Morbius is great, which it's looking like it's going to be good. Venom 2 is looking like it could be good. But I don't want that. I just want it all connected into one universe. And I worry about trying to connect the Sony universe into the MCU. Will the tones mesh well? Currently, Venom is just kind of I don't know that I want that Venom to be the MCU Venom. You know what I mean? So like that's where I get a little bit torn on this.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to know. I was wondering, maybe you guys thought there's more to it, that Sony is maybe their plans for Spider-Man aren't working out the same way they were or want them to, so they're gonna try and connect it all with Marvel.
Yeah, I mean they're basically getting the short end of the stick. They've been getting the short end of the stick since since Marvel basically put the kibosh on them by basically saying, hey, if you don't play well, on the playground, we're gonna make the character be pointless. So
interesting.
They did that. I mean, they did that by doing the Doc Ock thing. So
yeah,
they can do shit like that, and it does have a major effect on those companies that think that they're gonna hold the movie rights.
Yeah,
kind of a strong arm tactic, but it works.
So, moving on from comics here, McDonald's is getting on the Gwyneth Paltrow train and they're saying that they're going to release candles that smell like that smell like quarter pounders. You gonna buy one of those, Max? I know you're dying to talk about this.
I just find this so funny. I just find it funny. I'm not interested in buying a freaking quarter pounder scented candle. No, thank you.
I will.
And I brought it up to my wife earlier today as a joke, and she's like, "We are not bringing that into our home. No way."
Wow, you got a problem with the quarter pounder with cheese?
I don't, but I don't want a candle that smells like one. I don't want to smell hamburger, but not being able to eat hamburger. That's just wrong.
Kyle, you said you'd be all over it, huh?
I'd have 4 of them.
You have 4 of them.
I mean, all right.
It's got to be the double quarter pounder candle.
Here's what I would use them for. My wife and I were talking about this earlier this week. So we're just a bunch of dudes here, right? I mean, I think there's some girls in the chat, but if you don't like my language, I'm sorry. I poop and it stinks. When I take a dump, it's nasty. And my wife was talking to me about that earlier this week. She's like, "Yeah, you're gross." And she's pregnant right now. There was a while back, I was working from home, took a dump here downstairs at 9 a.m. I turned the fan on for like 4 hours. She came home at 3:30 p.m. and was like, "I can't breathe. It still smells so bad." So maybe a quarter pounder scented candle could help alleviate the smell of my deuces.
Chances I'd buy a candle titled Pepper Potts before I one called Quarter Pounder. I don't know if you could agree. I don't know if you could mask your funk with a quarter pounder smelling candle. It would just smell like burgers and ass then.
I don't know. It's tough to say because I dropped a deuce earlier today when I was working, and I put a candle in, and my wife came home and didn't know. So maybe I was just lucky.
Maybe the quarter pounder.
It wasn't a quarter pounder, though. It was like a rose scented. It was like one of those scentsy things. It wasn't even a candle. One of those like wax things that melts and smells really good. I love those, though. They smell great. They mask the smell of me not doing dishes for a week.
I was telling our group chat earlier today, I was starting a new podcast called like taking a dump at work or something like that, where I'm interviewing, talking about your top 10 worst dumps that you've taken at work. Like Kyle's gonna be my first guest, but Kyle nixed that. He was like, I'm not doing that. Pooping on the job.
Hey man, you're getting paid for it. Sounds great.
Yep. Pooping on the job. Kind of one of the last things I want to talk about this week is I kind of found an interesting article on this dude named his name is Mad Mike Hughes, and he's preparing to blast off in a man-made rocket, and they're tomorrow, and they're following him. And the Science Channel is doing an upcoming TV show on him called Man-Made Astronaut. It's going to be on TV later this year. That's kind of cool that this dude is going to try and blast off in a man-made rocket.
He's going to kill himself.
Probably.
The last thing I would want to do is to be shoot myself into space with something that I built.
No shit.
I am not a spaceship engineer. There's too many things in there that can go wrong. Now, where's he going to get the jet fuel? You can't just go to QT and get it.
Right. I wonder if he's going to, make jet fuel. But now that it's becoming part of a TV show, though, or being documented for a TV show, I wonder if they're going to be the ones that somehow figure out a way for him to get the jet fuel. And he's probably going to sign all these waivers and stuff now.
It'd be crazy to see him explode.
That would be nuts, wouldn't it? I don't know, Brian. What?
It'd be great to see him explode.
That'd be crazy if he did. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a lot to going into something that shoots into space. I don't know if it's something I'd want to do built in my garage. Like, that's a lot of money.
There's a guy who worked at the place I used to work at, and he built a plane, one of those planes that you can build yourself in the garage, and he crashed it and passed away. So,
And that didn't even have jet fuel in it.
Exactly.
Or rocket fuel. I mean, it takes a lot of thrust to go up. You know that, Brian.
Yeah.
Like,
if you got enough money, you look at Bezos and yeah.
It says homemade astronaut will follow 3 self-financed teams of amateur astronauts in their cosmic quest to explore the final frontier on shoestring budgets. And it says Hughes and his partner Waldo put their brains and efforts into a man-made rocket that can launch into space, designed a raccoon, described as part rocket, part balloon. It's this invention the team hopes will get Hughes.
So he's not shooting into space. He's just shooting at the... He's not going to break the barrier of the ozone layer.
He's hoping to get between the border between the Earth's atmosphere and outer space, about 62 miles above the ground, raising money and attention for their eventual goal. Hughes' first launch will be at 5,000 feet high in a steam-powered rocket. So he's already launching from 5,000 feet in a steam-powered rocket.
He's going to kill himself.
Why would you want to do that? Like,
I think a shoestring budget and space travel should never be in the same sentence.
I agree.
That's just my opinion. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
And it says in the second homemade astronaut team, Kai Michelson, often called the real-life Rocket Man, and he's the first civilian to build and launch an unmanned rocket into space. With that massive achievement on his list, Michelson looking to shoot even higher, aiming to become the first amateur to build and launch a fuel-powered manned space rocket.
Like, there's a lot of training that goes into being shot into space. What are they doing for that?
They're gonna figure it out while they're there.
Like, is their spacesuit going to be on a shoestring budget as well?
What spacesuit?
Yeah, and it says that a gentleman by the name of Cameron Smith is the leader of the third team and dedicated to creating a spacesuit that can withstand the elements of space travel. It won't be a low-stakes test when he finally puts the suit to the test at the Armstrong line, which begins at an altitude of 60,000 feet, which he will reach with the help of a specialized hot air balloon.
Okay, this sounds vaguely familiar.
Wasn't there a movie about that?
Well, the hot air balloon thing reminds me of Kingsman. Yep. Yeah, when they take a hot air balloon up into space. Yeah. And then it breaks as soon as she reaches the top of the atmosphere.
Well, you remember that guy that went up there in that hot air balloon and broke that record? He skydived from space.
Wasn't it like
the Red Bull one?
The fastest free fall or whatever?
That was badass, man.
He broke the sound barrier or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was badass.
That's cool. What some people do for fun, though, man. Oof.
You don't want to build your own man-made rocket, huh?
No. I'm good. I don't have the skill set for that. I'll watch a YouTube video about it.
Brian could do it. Brian's got the training.
Not gonna happen.
You're not gonna launch
I
yourself.
never want to be in something that's got thousands of gallons of rocket fuel underneath me.
No, not even a rocket car.
Nope. Not even a rocket car.
I I got something real quick to share for people out there that might have heard me talking about these baseball card boxes at Walgreens. If you guys do go to Walgreens and you see them, make sure to look at the bottoms because people are opening them up, taking out the good cards, resealing them, and taking them back. I had two boxes that they did that on out of the 10 I got last week.
What is the card that you're looking for in those boxes?
The Walgreens blasters have these special yellow parallels that you can only get at the Walgreens ones, and they're ridiculous. That's what people are looking for. So they're opening them up, taking out all the yellow parallels, and sending them back.
How much are those going for a pop?
They're $9.99 in store, and they're selling anywhere from $30 to $40
for the sealed pack, or just for those specific cards.
Sealed pack.
Oh,
yeah. So, but the cards that you can get in there, like if you pull one of the bigger rookies this year, they're $200-$300 cards.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
Yeah, pissed me off. So yeah, those people that do that are the same type of scum that you walk in and you see them with a little scale and they're weighing packs. Fucking pack searchers, and they're usually, mid to early 40s, that don't give two shits that you're sitting there watching them weigh packs at a Walmart. So.
Hey, everyone's got a hobby, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen anyone weighing a pack of cards.
I've seen it twice. This so far in the last couple months.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. First one was a dude weighing Pokemon packs. The second one was a dude weighing baseball, 2020 Topps baseball. And the reason why
for a lighter one,
a heavier one, because that means that it probably has a thicker card in it, and usually the thicker cards are autographs or memorabilia.
Usually, like your foils, when it's Pokemon, like your rare foils are heavier cards.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So do they have like a digital scale, or do they have the one with like the alligator clip in it?
They got a bag of beans and they're measuring it out to try and.
It's digital. It's one of those little digital scales. Yeah. Silly.
Yeah. Weigh my weed and then my baseball cards.
It's crazy.
Make sure your dealer's not jipping you, man. Come on.
Just breaks out the scales of justice, and he's just got the packs, and he's trying to measure it with the beads and going all crazy on it, huh?
Yeah, pretty shitty.
I think it'd be cooler if they had like one of those little miniature ones that you see at the doctor's office, and you like put your little bag of cards on there, and you're moving over the little dials to make sure you get the right weight. Be a lot cooler, a little miniature one of those.
Or he pulls out one he stole from a supermarket that you weigh produce on, and he's like wearing it around he normally just wears it around his neck like Flavor Flav, and then he just attaches the scale to it, and he just drops the cards in.
He pretends to have a lift and uses it as like a walker.
Yeah, there you go. Boop. That's crazy. Did you say anything to him, or you just watched him do it?
No, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And one guy like, what? I'm like, dude, that's fucking cheesy. I go, you are ridiculous. And he left. And the second guy, I was just walking by, and I was just like,
shaking your head.
Yeah.
It's funny, though.
Oh, shit. As a matter of fact, here you go. Look at this. This is somebody just sent this to me. Packs, they caught this guy in Target in Manhattan Beach, California. See that right there?
Weighing packs, yep.
There's the scale. Yeah. Weighing packs. What a fucking piece of shit, man.
Is he wearing a crown?
No, he's got sunglasses on, and he's got eyeglasses on. Oh, it's fucked up, man. Fucked up. So, yeah, if you're one of those douchebags, stop that shit.
Have you guys seen the puppy video?
Which one?
The puppy video?
The one where they're trying the They're trying to put in the pan. The dog won't let them.
No, it's the dog in a box video.
No,
I don't think I've seen it.
You haven't seen that? Look that up, Matt. See if you can find that. I think it's called Dog in a Box Rap.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's Dog in a Box Rap?
I think so. Something along those lines.
Rap as in like...
It's like a rap song.
Okay.
Should be this little white puppy in this box.
Bouncing in a box?
Yes. Put that on the screen and play it.
Because there's a couple of them. There's puppy bouncing in a box like this, and then puppy bouncing in the box by Rockstar.
Pull them up. Let me see.
Let me do this.
Oh, here I can look it up. I think it's the second one.
This one?
I think so.
Let me unshare my screen and share it again so I can include audio.
Let's see. I'll tell you right now if that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Puppy dog bouncing in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the box like this.
Is this the one you're talking about?
Don't stop, bounce with it. You a good little puppy. You don't live on the street. You don't want no money. You want something to eat. Got your own water bowl. You don't need my drink. Take a shit and walk off like your shit don't stink. You your own boss. You don't need no leash. All your shots up to date. You ain't got no fleas. Bouncing puppy like you're trying to get free. Bouncing little puppy, bouncing for me. You can hang with your girls or you can chill with a tree. I can leave you in your cage and you won't even pee. You can fetch a ball, but you ain't fetch it for free. You could chill in the house, but you love when we leave. You a good puppy, you ain't sassy. You don't lick me in the face, that's nasty. Said you a good puppy, you ain't sassy. And you don't lick me in the face, that's nasty. Hey, puppy dog bouncing in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the house like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the house like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Bounce, puppy. Bounce, puppy. Bouncing puppy. Paid a lot of money for you. Pedigree. And I got the papers on you. Friends come over and my friends want you. Can I have your puppy? Hell no, My puppy like to bounce all the time. You might seen a lot of puppies, but they're not like mine. Got a chip in my puppy. If you try to steal mine, I'll find you anywhere, anytime. Puppy dog bouncing in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the box like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the house like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Puppy dog bouncing in the house like this. Don't stop, bounce with it. Bounce, puppy. Bounce.
That's pretty funny.
It's catchy.
Mm-hmm.
It is very catchy.
I'm not usually into rap, but puppy rap is good. That's some good stuff.
I think that he's breaking into a new genre.
Puppy dog bounce like this. Don't stop.
See, now you got a caught stuck in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's all up in there now.
You're welcome.
I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm just going to be seeing that white dog's ears bouncing up and down.
Yeah.
Hear the song.
Shout out to whoever made that, put it out. That's funny.
By Rockstar, RXCKSTXR.
Wow, that is a tough name.
Shout out to that dude for giving me 3.5 minutes of entertainment today.
there you go.
Thank you for sharing your joy with us, Kyle. Let me share my joy really quick.
Oh God, no. Is it going to be something to do with Pops or?
I ain't no Lance. I'm not a pop guy.
Shout out to
I mean,
that.
I like soda pop a lot, way too much. But no. So growing up, I was obsessed with this Peter Venkman toy. See if I can get the.
Yeah, Ghostbusters.
Is that the real Ghostbusters one?
Is the cartoon, yeah. And I was obsessed with this toy. When I was like 4 years old, I would not allow myself to be separated from it. And a funny story about it. I grew up in a pretty conservative home, and my mother had the missionaries from our church over for dinner, and I was throwing a hissy fit about 4 or 5 years old. I'm real upset. I'm throwing a tantrum, and the missionaries are like, "What's going on?" And she says, "My son, he lost his Peter. He can't find his Peter." And of course, it's my Peter Venkman doll. But the missionaries are just sitting there like,
whoa,
what?
Action figure.
Yes, my action figure. What did I say?
Doll.
Oh, yeah, he's an action figure. Yeah. But anyway, I gave this thing away, not this exact one, but my action figure I gave away when I was about 5 or 6. I remember that. And then my mom, when I was down visiting in Arizona, she like found this on Amazon or something. It's definitely not like worth much. Like the backpack is missing and stuff, but she found it online, gave it to me. I was like, oh, that's fun.
It's a sentimental value.
Yeah, exactly.
You finally found your Peter.
I found my Peter. Where is it? It's pretty legit. Got a little Ghostbuster symbol there on his arm, and it's cool. It's real cool.
Oh, I'm glad you have your Peter.
I am really. My wife is glad I found my Peter.
It seemed to have worked out well.
Yeah.
Those are cool toys. I remember those.
Yeah.
You're sentimental Peter. What? Who's talking?
Oh, that's my brother saying we still have some.
Oh. You're the one who took Max's Peter?
What?
Son of a bitch.
No one took it. It was
he
like a
covered
church
it in a
thing.
Slimer.
We had like a church lesson where they were talking about donating something that you valued to understand sacrifice. And I gave
your Peter away.
I did.
Your Peter away.
You never knew how badly one day you might need that Peter again. Anybody else got anything you want to talk about this week, Kyle? Anything interesting?
Mm-mm.
Brian, anything else? Beaming over there, bud.
Yeah.
The Stay Puff.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Stay Puff.
I like how easily he had that available to show us.
Yeah.
Walked in the other room to get it. Stay puffed. All right. Well, I think that's where we'll end tonight's show. If you guys had a good time, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. If this is your first time checking us out on YouTube and you like the show, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And we are here every Friday night live. If you are in the Anaheim area and you're going to be at WonderCon, I know I'm going to be there, and I think Brian's going to go, and I know a handful of the guys from Couch Crunchers are going to be there. So if you're going to be at WonderCon, hit us up and let us know, and be on the lookout for us, and be a good time. And then Kyle and I will be at San Diego, so if you're going to be at San Diego this year, look for us there also. So it's going to be we got a fun con season coming up between Anaheim and Phoenix, and then San Diego. It's going to be a busy couple months, so if you guys are going to get any of those conventions, make sure to hit us up, and let's hang out and meet some of our listeners. It'll be a good time. But yeah, if you're listening to this on Monday on your podcasting platforms, remember to leave us a review, as it helps us go a long way in those standings. And for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Kyle.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Max.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.